Don't invest in Nakamura. The boardroom froze. 43 investors turned their heads toward the doorway. A man in a worn gray uniform stood there, gripping a mop handle tightly. He wasn't supposed to be there. He was the janitor. On the projector screen behind the CEO, the words blinked. 2.3 billion Nigerian Nairas merger, 90 minutes to finalize. CEO Adaora Williams, elegant and intimidating in her navy suit, folded her arms. I'm sorry, what did you just say? The janitor cleared his throat. Ma, the company you're about to invest in, Nakamura Holdings, doesn't exist. Their documents are fake. The chief investment officer, Tund Balagan, chuckled. And how do you know that, Oga Cleaner? The janitor, Samuel Okoye, met his eyes calmly. I used to work in finance before my wife's hospital bills forced me to take this job. I recognized the numbers on your screen. Line 47 lists a fund that was closed last year. The laughter stopped. Adaora frowned. Can you prove that? Samuel walked forward and pointed at the data. The signature date doesn't match the digital timestamp. This document was edited last month, after the audit closed. Somebody forged it. Tund hissed under his breath. Rubbish. Samuel's voice stayed steady. If I'm right, you save billions. If I'm wrong, I lose my job, and my daughter loses her insulin. The entire boardroom fell silent. Adaora's jaw tightened. Lock this room. Nobody leaves until we check this. Cameras clicked. Investors whispered. Samuel came to clean the floor. Now he was cleaning up corruption. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to like this video, comment, share and subscribe for more. And this was only the beginning. By the next morning, Adaora's company was on fire, figuratively. News headlines screamed, Whistleblower Janitor saves billion naira investment. Okoye the cleaner exposes corporate fraud. Her staff walked on eggshells. The board blamed her. So, she called a town hall meeting, a televised moment of openness. Hundreds of employees filled the auditorium. Adaora smiled into the mic, pretending everything was fine. Let's be free today. Let's talk like family. Silence. Then she noticed one of the cleaners, Chioma Ease, mopping the far end of the hall. Adaora forced a laugh. Chioma, you've been here for years. Tell me, what's wrong with this company? The audience stiffened. Chioma looked up slowly. Are you sure you want me to answer, Ma? Adaora smiled confidently. Go ahead. Chioma dropped her mop gently and said, Your people are afraid of you, gasped. Adaora blinked. Afraid? Of me? Chioma nodded. They are afraid to speak, afraid to make mistakes, afraid to go home early. You say you want innovation, but you reward fear. You built a wall around yourself. The room went quiet. Then one person clapped. Then another. Then everyone. That evening, clips of Chioma's words flooded WhatsApp and TikTok. Hashtag Truth from Chioma trended. By the next morning, Adaora's inbox was filled with anonymous confessions. I'm tired of pretending to love my job. We need leaders who listen. Later that night, Adaora met Chioma in the lobby. I didn't mean to embarrass you, Adaora said softly. Chioma smiled. You didn't. Sometimes truth just needs a microphone. Adaora exhaled. If you were me, what would you do? Chioma thought for a moment. Ask questions you're afraid to hear the answers to. The next morning, an email went out from Adaora herself. From today, every staff member can speak freely. No punishment. Let's rebuild together. She signed it simply Adaora. Within days, the walls of the office were filled with sticky notes. We want to rest. We need hope. We just want to be treated like humans. Months later, Adaora promoted Chioma to head of culture and people. A plaque in the lobby read, "Truth can rise from any floor." The Prime Holdings Investor Gala sparkled with wealth. CEO Richard Obie stood on stage, smiling like a politician. "Tonight, we celebrate growth," he said proudly. Then he noticed a cleaner wiping a spill by the corner. Blessing Udo, mid-40s, humble and quiet. Richard laughed into the mic. "Blessing, you've been here forever. Tell us, what would you do if you ran this company?" Laughter erupted. Blessing stood up slowly. "I already do," she said softly. "I just don't get the credit." The room fell silent. Richard blinked. "Excuse me?" Blessing stepped forward. "I know which machines break before your engineers do. I know which workers cry in the bathrooms because of stress. I know which suppliers cheat you and which clients overbill you. This company survives because people like me keep it running." Someone in the crowd whispered, "She's right." The rest was recorded and uploaded before the night ended. By morning, the world was watching. #I already do trended across Africa. When Richard saw it, he exploded. "Fire her!" But HR hesitated. "Sir, before you do, look at this." They placed a file on his desk. Every entry said fixed by Blessing Udo. The total savings? 415 million Nigerian nairas over 5 years. And then he saw a familiar name. Chinedu Udo, the technician who died in a factory fire years ago. The safety report was signed by him. Richard Obie. He'd buried it to protect the company's image. The truth came out. Janitor's words expose hidden factory death. Blessing Udo, the woman who spoke truth to power. On live TV, Blessing said, "I don't want revenge. I just want justice. My son died fixing what no one wanted to see." Her strength silenced the country. Days later, Richard faced the press. "I mocked someone who carried this company. I'm ashamed." He invited her to stand beside him. "Help me fix what's broken." Blessing nodded. "Only if I can tell the truth." The audience gave a standing ovation. In the new company lobby hung a gold plaque. "The one who cleans the floor often holds the company together." The Meridian Leadership Workshop was broadcast live. CEO Michael Okafor, trying to polish his reputation, started confidently, "True leadership," he said, "is about making your company shine." The crowd laughed politely. Then he spotted a janitor cleaning the corner of the stage. Ngozi Adeyemi, gray uniform, soft-spoken. Michael grinned. "You there, give us some business advice." The audience chuckled. Ngozi looked up, smiled faintly, and said, "A business only shines if the floor beneath it is clean." The laughter vanished. Michael blinked. "What did you say?" Ngozi repeated calmly. "If you ignore the foundation, everything collapses. You polish the top, but the dirt beneath will still show." Someone in the crowd muttered, "She's right." That line exploded online. #clean the floor became a viral trend. But soon, journalists discovered Ngozi's story. She'd quietly been saving the company money for years, fixing power issues, catching supply fraud, correcting reports. Then they found the darker part. 5 years earlier, her son, Emeka Adeyemi, a technician, died in a warehouse explosion. Ignored safety warnings. The report signed Michael Okafor. When the truth broke, the company shook. Michael called her in. "You've ruined me," he said weakly. Ngozi shook her head. "No, sir. I only swept out what you tried to hide." He swallowed. "I didn't know he was your son." "You knew someone died," she said softly. "You just didn't care who." Days later, Michael faced the media again. "I mocked a woman who's done more for this company than I ever have," he admitted. "She reminded me that leadership begins at the floor." He gestured to the side. "Please welcome Ngozi Adeyemi." She walked on stage, calm and dignified. "I don't want revenge," she said. "I want change." The applause was thunderous. Months later, under Ngozi's influence, the company transformed. Managers spent one day each month working with cleaners. Anonymous feedback became law. And at the main lobby, a new motto was carved into marble. "A business only shines if the floor beneath it is clean." Ngozi began traveling across Nigeria, giving talks about truth, humility, and dignity in work. She became a national voice for honest labor and leadership. Final scene: the clean floor. 1 year later, at a company gala, Michael found her standing by the window. "I used to think leadership was about being seen," he said quietly. Ngozi smiled. "Sometimes, it's about seeing." They both looked down at the spotless floor reflecting the lights above. "Ever think of retiring?" he asked. She chuckled softly. "Not until the floor's clean." The camera would fade on their reflection, the billionaire and the cleaner standing side by side. Because in the end, it wasn't power that saved the company. It was truth. It was humility. It was the courage of a janitor who dared to speak.